Vicki Yates, weeknights on News Channel 5 at 6.
Tonight, from the tsunami zone, the race against time to get help to survivors, bury the dead, and find the missing. Back in the U.S., he's anxiously awaiting word of his girlfriend. And this American will tell you why he's come here to lend a hand.
Also tonight, the campaign of violence against Iraqi elections. Insurgents kill a high-ranking Iraqi official and 5 U.S. troops. And are you on a diet? A new study examines 4 of the most popular diets and your chances for success.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting tonight from Thailand and John Roberts in New York.
Good evening. Here in Thailand and throughout the tsunami zone, it's a desperate struggle tonight to get help where it's needed. Right now, I'm in Phuket, in front of the remnants of what was once an oceanfront home. Millions are homeless and hungry throughout this region, hospitals overflowing with sick and injured. The United Nations warns the confirmed death toll of about 150,000 is sure to rise. The UN's World Food Program said at least 125,000 tons of rice is needed to feed the millions of homeless. But logistical problems are hampering efforts to deliver food and other relief supplies. Secretary of State Colin Powell was here today in Phuket, Thailand, this country's hardest hit area.
The United States will do everything that it can to assist the people of Thailand as well as the other nations of the region who have suffered as a result of the tsunami.
Secretary Powell will represent the United States at a recovery planning meeting Thursday in Indonesia, where the tsunami killed at least 100,000 people. On the coast of western Indonesia today, survivors still work to recover the dead. CBS's Lee Cowan reports many bodies are still unburied 9 days after the disaster.
Never before has success been measured in such a gruesome way. The race to clean up the estimated 30,000 bodies that still clog the streets of Banda Aceh is finally starting to show some limited progress. 2 days ago, for example, dozens of dead floated in an unimaginable cesspool. Now that waterway is clear, but the health concerns are only rising. Many of those involved in the cleanup are volunteers with no formal training. Rubber gloves and paper masks are the only protection they have against disease.
There are few tasks more grim than the one these men are charged with. Digging by hand, by stick, through the city's waterways looking for bodies that are still submerged.
We watched as the remains of a young child, a woman, and a fisherman were found along the banks, still being battered by debris. In a macabre orchestra, the bodies, partially clothed and bloated, were snagged and dragged behind the boats for their undignified return to dry land. I hope God has a special place for me and for these bodies, this man told us. He's been out here round the clock for the last 2 days. By noon, he'd recovered close to a dozen. In fishing village after fishing village, those who survived are beginning to return. In an act that signals the utter desperation here, it was easier for many to burn what was left of their homes rather than pick through the soggy mess. Lines of people rushed boxes of food and water to the few fishing boats still intact here, a desperate effort to get some supplies to those still cut off from the rest of the world. That effort was made even more difficult today when a cargo plane slid off the tarmac. The accident would have been of little consequence, except that the jet blocked Banda Aceh's only runway and stopped aid deliveries for several hours. That's just how thin the line can be here between survival and death. The 4th most populous nation in the world, barely hanging on by a thread. Lee Cowan, CBS News, Banda Aceh, Indonesia.
Amid the tragedy here, each day brings a new story of miraculous survival. Last night, a cargo ship picked up an Indonesian swept out to sea by the tsunami. Still alive, more than a week later, clinging to an uprooted tree. And today, here in Thailand, I met a courageous American who's been performing a few miracles of his own. Bill Francis came to hear Colin Powell. He liked what he heard, that the American commitment to help this ravaged region will go on for the long term. Bill knows a lot about helping. He told me how he first heard the news of the tsunami while vacationing in Malaysia. On his own, because he felt he had to, he flew to Phuket, Thailand. What drove you? What caused you to do this?
I have been asking myself that question, and it just seems to be part of who I am. That's what I'm driven to help.
And your name is?
Many foreigners like Bill came here to help, and Bill immediately saw a need he could fill. He organized the volunteers, matching them to jobs that needed to be done, like translating or comforting those anxious for news of loved ones. He told me the story of one of those volunteers, a young man who came here from Canada after a phone call from his parents. They were vacationing here when the tsunami hit.
He was on the phone with them, saying Merry Christmas to each other, and the next thing he heard was the scream and the silence. That was the worst one I've heard. He actually heard his parents die.
At the Yang Yao Buddhist temple, they needed help moving the dead. Bill didn't shy away. He pitched in and helped carry the bodies. It was gut-wrenching work, and while doing it, Bill cried for the first time here.
This is a great opportunity for people to be the best of who they are on a worldwide scale. That doesn't come along every day.
Is this the best of who you are, Bill?
This is pretty close.
Bill shows how one man can make a difference, but he doesn't think this is about him. It's about a tragedy that brought out something extraordinary in all the people who came here to help.
The outpouring of a tidal wave of human kindness to the tidal wave of tragedy. It's extraordinary.
The government of Thailand today fired the country's chief weather forecaster because he failed to issue a warning before the giant wave hit. Here in Phuket, where the economy is heavily dependent on tourism, a major cleanup operation is already well underway in hopes of luring back foreign visitors. CBS's Barry Peterson has that story.
The call to clean up went out today, and the people of Phuket answered with shovels and sweat. The idea is to collect and haul away this debris as quickly as possible to restore Phuket to its pristine state. That way the tourist, on whom virtually every job in this region depends, will start to come back. And when they do, new deck chairs will be waiting. Empty shops will be restocked. Call it a spirit of determination. And at the Irish bar, that spirit means the spirits will soon be flowing again.
But everybody just tucked in, worked hard, work, and just got it there, as you see now.
And you'll be open?
Well, tonight, hopefully.
Even school children spent the day cleaning up their playground.
We lost the building, and we lost the teacher. Also, we lost the student and their parents.
But they did not lose their will. No building, no problem. Some students came to learn under a tent for the first classes since the wave hit. The tsunami knocked Phuket down. Now it is showing the spirit it needs to get back on its feet. Barry Peterson, CBS News, Phuket, Thailand.
This area drew vacationers from all around the world, and throughout the disaster zone, it's now estimated that some 10,000 foreign tourists are dead, missing, or unaccounted for. Most are Europeans. At least 16 Americans died, but the State Department is still trying to get an accurate list of the missing. CBS's Sandra Hughes reports on growing concerns stateside.
27-year-old Morgan Browning is back in the U.S., but he left his heart in Thailand. He was supposed to meet his girlfriend, Nicole Weisberg, at the airport in Phuket. When she didn't show up, he spent a week searching through makeshift morgues for her.
While it was incredibly difficult to look at these bodies, when I was done, there was a relief that I felt that she wasn't there.
Morgan's hopeful the American government will help, but says he's relying right now on strangers, a Thai family who took him in and promised to keep looking for Weisberg.
They feel it's their way of helping, and I feel fortunate that they're there.
10 days after the disaster, with so many still looking for loved ones, there are questions about why it's taking the U.S. government so long to calculate the exact number of missing.
Americans are very mobile group, and they're a very independent-minded group. They don't always register with consulates. They don't always register with embassies.
Barbara Ginther is using the internet to try and track down her boyfriend, Harvey Sherman, who was studying temples in India and hasn't been heard from since Christmas Day.
The blogs are a force for good in our society. So I go and I look and I post, and I hope and I wait, and I wonder and I worry.
Internet postings like those on Lonely Planet or the Red Cross website carry messages of desperation and occasionally responses with good news. But that information isn't always shared with the U.S. government, leaving so many of the unaccounted for just that, like Nicole Weisberg.
I want her home. I love her and I miss her and I want to see her badly.
For Morgan Browning, it's still just too painful to give up hope. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, Los Angeles.
I'm Dan Rather in Thailand. We'll be reporting to you from the tsunami zone all this week. Right now, John Roberts in New York with more of the day's news.
Thanks, Dan. And straight ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, unprecedented generosity. It's what Americans are showing with donations to tsunami victims. Why so much? We'll give you the inside story. Later, my diet didn't work. It's a common complaint. A new study examines why popular diets often don't deliver. But first, Dan Rather with this note.
CBS News honors fallen heroes. Carrie Ann Gazowitz was an athlete growing up, enjoyed softball, mountain climbing, and many other sports. She spoke Arabic fluently, and that helped her bond with the Iraqi children. Her family sent clothes for them, and one of the kids gave her a marble as a gift. Heading home from Iraq, Gazowitz was killed by a roadside bomb.
A funny thing happens when your body doesn't sleep at night. Your mind zones out during the day. It's like going through life on autopilot, out of sync with the world around you. To help you sleep, there's Ambien, the #1 prescribed sleep aid in America. Ambien helps you fall asleep fast and stay asleep longer, so you wake up refreshed, not groggy. Until you know how Ambien will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Side effects may include drowsiness, dizziness, and diarrhea. You shouldn't take it with alcohol. All people taking sleep medicines have some risk of becoming dependent on the medicine. Prescription sleep aids are most often taken for 7 to 10 days as needed, or longer as advised by your doctor. Memory problems can usually be avoided by taking Ambien only when you can devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep. Talk to your doctor about Ambien. Ambien works like a dream.
Laxatives like that can cause cramps.
Huh?
Try Phillips Caplets.
What's the difference?
Phillips effectively relieves constipation overnight without cramps because it's stimulant-free.
I'm switching to Phillips.
Phillips, effective relief, cramp-free.
I'm Dave Sayer from Publishers Clearinghouse.
Oh, I'm going to faint.
You just won $1 million from the Publishers Clearinghouse.
Oh, Grants, where are you?
Will you win $10 million? February 28th, the Prize Patrol could surprise you with $10 million live on TV.
My grandkids will all have their money for college.
Watch your mail or go to pch.com and enter.
I thought she was wasting her time.
Really? Then, on February 28th, the next $10 million winner could be you.
I feel so much better.
Women. They want to be strong and sweet forever. And they want to enjoy their calcium. One delicious Viactive Soft Calcium Chew twice a day has the calcium women need. Viactive. It's what women want.
For a kitchen so clean it sparkles, use new Formula 409. 409's deep cleansing formula strips away impurities for a brilliant clean. Let your kitchen shine with Formula 409.
Introducing the new look of Serenity Bladder Control with a fresh white top sheet to help keep you dry, high-rising soft sides, and now with Odosorb Plus to help prevent odors. Designed to leave you feeling fresh as a, well, you know.
The Federal Reserve is ready to get more aggressive about raising interest rates to keep inflation in check. That word today spooked Wall Street. The Dow lost nearly 100 points. In the first 2 days of trading this year, the Dow has given up 3 weeks of gains. Americans are reaching deep into their pockets to help victims of the South Asian tsunami. U.S.-based relief agencies say they have raised more than $200 million so far. One said Online pledges are coming in at the rate of $100,000 an hour. Jim Axelrod reports on this outpouring of generosity in tonight's Inside Story.
At this Buddhist temple in Queens Village, New York, they're being swamped by goodwill.
Those boxes we were sending back to Sri Lanka.
In fact, too much. They're not accepting any more clothes.
It's so overwhelming, the generosity of the people.
It's this might of the disaster that has hit so many countries at the same time.
I'm calling from Doctors Without Borders.
Same deal at the American headquarters of Doctors Without Borders. They've collected so much money, they're now warning on their webpage donations might go somewhere else.
We're seeing an overwhelming outpouring, an overwhelming reflect of solidarity of people.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Not in this measure.
This is not what you'd call an ordinary response to an overseas disaster. Americans are generous people, donating some $241 billion each year to charities. But typically, just 2% of that, some $5 billion, goes to overseas organizations.
It happened at the ideal time when people are thinking about giving.
Daniel Borokoff, who heads up the American Institute of Philanthropy, points out it was also a time when many Americans were on vacation, home, watching a lot of TV. Overnight, Americans had a grand-scale disaster and millions of innocent victims to collect for. There's another theory being floated in philanthropy circles to explain all the giving. The tsunami hit a part of the world not exactly feeling overly warm toward America these days. Indonesia is the largest Islamic country in the world. Every donated dollar, goes the theory, buys a little more goodwill there.
Americans want to reach out to the Islamic world. If there's a silver lining in this crisis, there certainly is one.
Interesting theory, but hard to prove just yet. Still, in a crisis like this one, the world will take any good news it can get. Jim Axelrod, CBS News, New York.
Bad weather on the West Coast is heading east. Storm after storm clobbered California with snow and ice, and a 40-mile stretch of Interstate 5 shut down yesterday was still closed part of today. On the Las Vegas Strip, floods turned a parking garage into a gusher. Creeks were spilling over in Indiana and in Ohio. Highway underpasses were underwater and off limits to traffic. You're watching the CBS Evening News, and coming up next, will the election in Iraq go ahead? Insurgents step up their campaign to disrupt it with more violence, more U.S. troops killed.
This is an amazing age.
This is an amazing age.
We learn something new every day.
You're living in the age of Fosamax, when it's actually possible to help reverse bone loss and strengthen bone. Fosamax Once Weekly is a hormone-free tablet for postmenopausal women at risk for or with osteoporosis. Fosamax is clinically proven to help reverse bone loss. Increases in bone mass were seen as early as 3 months. You should not use Fosamax if you have certain disorders of the esophagus, are unable to stand or sit upright for 30 minutes, have severe kidney disease, or low blood calcium. Before use, talk to your doctor if you have stomach or digestive problems. Stop taking Fosamax and call your doctor right away if you develop new or worsening heartburn, difficult or painful swallowing, or chest pain, because these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems.
1 pill a week can help reverse bone loss.
Ask your doctor if Fosamax is right for you. This is the age of Fosamax.
This is an amazing age.
Helping reverse bone loss.
1, 2, 3, 4.
These guys, like family. So when I learned 1 in 3 men faces prostate problems,
he had us switch to One-A-Day Men's.
One-A-Day Men's, a complete multivitamin plus lycopene, which Harvard studies suggest may help prostate health.
gotta watch out for my guys.
One-A-Day Men's.
Girl power activated. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll call you from the car.
Dial Laura.
Technology to go. Chevy Trailblazer, an American revolution.
These days, I welcome the morning rush.
Could Procrit be right for you? Talk to your doctor about Procrit or call 1-800. Procrit.
Got gas? Pressure? Bloating? Tums doesn't treat gas, neither does Pepto-Bismol. To treat gas, use Gas-X for fast, powerful relief.
Popcorn?
Gas-X beats the bloat, and acids don't.
Her son was killed in Iraq, so was hers.
Iraq was never going to attack us. If we'd waited any longer, I would be wearing a burqa.
Tomorrow, mothers touched by tragedy fight a new war at home. Also, disaster relief, a race against time. Dan Rather from the Tsunami Zone on the CBS Evening News.
The Pentagon today put out its first report of the year on the number of U.S. military personnel wounded in Iraq. The total now tops 10,000, and of the 10,252 wounded since the war began, more than half were injured so severely they could not return to duty. In Iraq today, CBS News correspondent David Hawkins reports 5 American troops and a senior Iraqi official died in a surge of pre-election violence.
Iraqi insurgents stepped up their anti-election campaign today, carrying out a string of attacks on American soldiers and assassinating another top Iraqi politician. In a well-coordinated daylight ambush, gunmen killed Baghdad's governor, Ali al-Haidari, and 6 of his bodyguards. He's the highest-ranking official to be killed here since May. Just a week ago, the governor admitted that security in Baghdad was deteriorating. In and around Baghdad today, 4 American soldiers died when their patrols were struck by roadside bombs, and a U.S. Marine was killed in action west of the capital. Sunni rebels continued their propaganda campaign as well. A group called the Islamic Fury Brigades released video it claims shows a suicide bomber loading a van with explosives, then attacking a convoy. And a website belonging to a group linked to Al-Qaeda shows pictures of masked men executing 5 members of the Iraqi National Guard.
As we approach election day, terrorists increase their savagery. They will try to stop the process, but we won't allow them.
Despite Washington's insistence that the elections will be held on schedule on January 30th, more and more Iraqis, including some senior officials, are beginning to question whether that's realistic when the people in charge of national security can't even protect themselves. David Hawkins, CBS News, Baghdad.
In this country, the 109th Congress convened today. In the new Congress, Republicans have increased their majorities in both the House and the Senate. An ambitious agenda includes a controversial overhaul of Social Security, but House Republicans backed off at least one bruising political battle, the one centering on Majority Leader Tom DeLay of Texas. They decided against easing ethics rules that, among other things, would have allowed DeLay to keep his post, even if he were indicted. Still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News, Rita lost more than 60 pounds on her diet. Why didn't your diet work as well? A new study of popular diet plans may have the answer for you next.
Sometimes all the right moves can't give high cholesterol the slip. If you're at risk and diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Lipitor can help lower your bad cholesterol 39 to 60%. And Lipitor has proven benefits for your heart. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about other medications you are taking or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of a serious side effect. So take the next step. Ask your doctor about the benefits of Lipitor.
I want to return this stock.
Why?
It's very annoying. It just says the same thing over and over again. Go ahead, say it. Say it. Just once, say it. What?
What about him?
If you're hurt and can't work, you get cash for bills, rent, food from Aflac. Huh? Okay,
Aflac.
If you're hurt, get worse. This is much better. At least I learned something.
If you have a cold and high blood pressure, you should know that decongestants in these medicines can raise your blood pressure. So why take them? Take decongestant-free Coricidin HBP, powerful relief that won't raise your blood pressure.
My doctor said I needed fiber, but Metamucil is thick and gritty. My doctor said I should take Benefiber. Benefiber has just as much fiber and never gets thick or gritty. Ask your doctor about Benefiber. For me, the choice is clear.
Look, I finished our taxes.
Are you sure we did it right?
Yeah, with TurboTax software, I just answered simple questions and it put the answers in all the right forms.
Did we get all our deductions?
Even ones I didn't think of.
What if we made a mistake?
TurboTax checks for errors. Calculations are guaranteed accurate.
Are you sure the IRS got it?
I got an e-file confirmation.
So that's it? We're done?
Yep, got a refund today.
I've always liked that TurboTax.
Really?
TurboTax. Taxes made easy, taxes done right.
Coming up in just minutes on News Channel 5 at 6, new developments in the accident that killed a Metro police officer could clear the truck driver who may still be indicted at 6.
Finally tonight, weighing your choices to find a diet plan that really helps you take off the pounds and keep them off. CBS News medical correspondent Elizabeth Caledon reports on a new study of 4 of the most popular weight loss plans.
I started a year ago at 233 pounds.
The beginning of 2004 was looking grim for Rita Collins, but now, 1 year and 66 pounds later,
I'm 5'10", and now I'm 167.
She's that successful diet story millions would like to imitate as they kick off the new year. And what was her secret? How'd she do it? 2 words: hard work.
It's a lifestyle change. It's not a diet that you're going to ever go off of.
The latest research on dieting, one of our consuming obsessions, backs up Rita's experience. It's easy to be overwhelmed by choices on bookstore shelves, all promising that one plan is better than another. But experts say any diet will work, as long as you stick with it. The new study compared the 4 most popular diets: Atkins, The Zone, Ornish, and Weight Watchers. Dieters divided into the 4 groups all lost an average of 15 pounds in a year if they stayed with the plan. But 42% of them dropped out. The highest dropout rates were on Ornish and Atkins.
What we're clearly seeing in this study is that a calorie is a calorie, and whether it's a carbohydrate calorie or a fat calorie, any way to cut those calories helps people lose weight. In other words, there's no magic bullet.
I think I was just eating a little too much pie, it seemed.
The trick, of course, is finding a diet that isn't torture.
And what can you do in them all? Walk. You can walk.
Rita Collins admits she tried everything before realizing that Weight Watchers worked best for her.
It's not just about diet alone, that there's 4 pillars to weight loss. You need exercise, you need food, you need to change the way you think, and you need a supportive environment.
Oh, and one more thing, says Rita Collins. You need discipline and determination.
It's hard. It's really hard.
And hard news to swallow for all those hoping to slim down in 2005 without too much of a struggle. Elizabeth Caledon, CBS News, New York.
Too many choices in America. And that's the CBS Evening News for this Tuesday. For Dan Rather in Thailand, I'm John Roberts in New York. Thanks for choosing CBS News. Have a good night.
For news 24 hours a day, click on cbsnews.com. Brought to you in part by Walmart, saving you and your family time and money with everyday low prices. In the strike zone, Dan Rather reports from the disaster area. Tomorrow, experience CBS News.
Straight ahead on News Channel 5 at 6, new information tonight in the crash that killed Metro police officer Christy Dedman. It's a story that's first on 5.
And a birthday party at a hotel turns into a standoff with police on the roof.
And there are just not enough teachers in Tennessee.
The plan to change that. The news is now.
From your news and information leader. This is News Channel 5 at 6.
Good evening. There are new developments tonight in the crash that killed Metro Police Officer Christy Dedman.
The truck driver who hit Dedman is charged with vehicular homicide. Data from the truck's black box obtained exclusively by News Channel 5 appears to clear the truck driver of any wrongdoing. But tonight, Nick Barris tells us why prosecutors are still moving forward with an indictment.
Police have said that James Fitzgerald was speeding when the tractor trailer he was driving hit and killed Metro Police Officer Christy Dedman this past July.
We have some witness statements that we believe to be very accurate that tell us he was going in excess of 80 miles an hour.
But data retrieved from the truck's black box recording system shows Fitzgerald